Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brandon, host of the Devy Deep Dive podcast and creator of the Devy Dashboard. Welcome to my channel, and thanks for tuning in to my first of many 2022 rookie profile films. I've selected Jalen Tolbert to be my first study as we head into the exciting rookie season next year after the new year. But if you enjoy this film, please consider hitting the like button and hitting the subscribe button. We're going to be doing rookie profiles like this on all the guys who are declaring for the NFL draft. And if you're interested in the Devy Dashboard, which is the ultimate Devy and C2C resource, check out my show notes below. Welcome back, man. So yeah, I'm excited about this first of many rookie profile films that we're doing. Jalen Tolbert recently has declared for the NFL draft, so he is headed to the NFL. So in this video, we're going to take a look at his game film, but we're also going to be taking a sneak peek at his analytical profile. Britt Sanders will be joining us here shortly to give us his breakdown and thought process, one of the great Devy minds out there when it comes to analytical numbers. So let's get right to it, man. Let's take a look at his production profile. This year, as far as in all college football, he was 15th with 82 receptions. He ranked 4th in the nation in yardage with 1,474 total receiving yards and yards per catch. Very nice number at 18. He ranked 17th in that, in that space as well. So Jalen Tolbert, 6'3", 190 pounds, good size for a receiver. He was a 2-star prospect. He is a redshirt senior, so he will be an older prospect for the NFL draft at age around 23, I believe, maybe getting close to 24 by the time next April rolls around. So let's take a look at his receiving stats. He kind of broke out a little bit down in 2019, as you can see here on the screen, with 521 yards. 2020 had 1,000 yards, 85 yards with 8 TDs. And then this year, 2021, he had 82 receptions, 1,474 yards with 8 TDs as well. So certainly a productive player for South Alabama. He was the primary receiver, and he is getting a lot of draft buzz right now. There's a lot of guys out here that he is a deep sleeper, right? That's what we're going to look at in this film today, and get see if in fact he is living up to the hype, right? So he's a very trending upward player. Let's take a look at his market share. Receiving 48%, which is very, a very good number. He was a ball hog on this offense. He contributed to 33% of the total offense for South Alabama, which is also very high. Touchdowns, the receiving touchdowns, he basically had over a third of all receiving touchdowns for South Alabama. Completion percentage, as far as his receptions, 63%, it's pretty good. His yak, per reception was 7.1. He was an explosive playmaker down the field. So we're going to actually be taking a look at his yak and seeing what his skill set looks like in that department. As far as snaps, he was used all over the field. He was out wide 66%, but he was also in the slot at 34%. So there's a little versatility there, which is always good too, as a feather in your cap in the NFL, being able to not just be an outside guy or a slot guy. So before we get to his film, we're going to turn it over to Britt, and let's take a look at his analytical profile.
Hey, Brandon. Thanks. Let me talk about Jalen Tolbert's analytical profile. And as you touched on, he had an insane receiving share and a touchdown share. And quite frankly, it shows in his numbers. When we're looking at his overall career dominator rating, he had a traditional dominator of 44.18%. He had a weighted dominator of 42.4%, which is pretty similar to what he had this year. This year, he had a traditional dominator of 42%, 42.2 to be exact, and a weighted dominator of 45.4. And really all that shows me is he was just absolutely dominant on the field, through the air, and as in the touchdown as well. He had a breakout age of a sophomore breakout, which puts him around age 20. And he had an elite breakout, meaning that he had a dominator rating above 30%. And all you really are looking for there is you're trying to lower the amount of misses you have there, as players that have a dominator above 30% are less likely to bust in the NFL. It's also important to mention that his efficiency was off the charts his final year here. When you're looking at yards per team pass attempt, which is my favorite efficiency metric, you want anything above a 1.8. And really, you want somewhere in the 2 region. If they manage to get into the 3, you're looking at a legitimately elite efficiency player. He had a 3.63 this year, which is absolutely bananas. And I love it because it shows me, to me, efficiency translates really well from college to the NFL, and it's really important. Players like Bateman, Waddle, Smith, Elijah Moore, all the top tier players were really efficient in college as well. He had a height adjusted speed score of 98.66. And the reason that is he had a 4.43 40 time. I adjusted it because I wasn't sure if it was a hand time or electronic, and gave him a 4.46. And all that is showing me is that he has the requisite speed to be successful in the NFL. And I understand speed isn't the end all be all for wide receivers, but it is nice to have a wide receiver that is able to break away and cash in a long distance touchdown rather than get caught from behind. The only big concerns I have with Tolbert are his age and his size. He has a BMI of 23.7, which is a bit below the threshold I like to see. And it's important to note thresholds are trending lower because we're starting to see the average weight of linebackers and safeties decrease as well. So really, you're looking for durability concerns and just statistical success. Well, we've seen players recently with low BMIs be successful in the NFL, and they've also been durable thus far. So it's not necessarily a death knell there. The only real thing with his age is that he's coming into the league at 23. And while he had a breakout at his age 20 season, it just makes me a little concerned for how quickly we're going to see him be able to produce as a fantasy on your fantasy teams. And it may take a little bit longer than you really want. I do think he manages day two draft capital, and it's very likely he's going to be available at your rookie drafts around pick 18 to 24. Thanks, Brandon. Can't wait to dig into the next one.
Great stuff, Britt. Thank you so much for breaking down his analytical profile. Great stuff, man. All right, let's get into the film. All right, the first trait we want to look at with Jalen Tolbert is his release and route running. The most important thing for me in watching a wide receiver: space creation, defensive manipulation, crispness of routes at the top of his stem. So let's take a look at what Jalen brings to the table as far as route running. Here he is at the top of the screen. All right, and let's just take a look at what his skill set is in route running. Just a little hop skip, not much there to see, kind of like just a little out. All right, so he is again at the top of the screen. And what's he doing to this, to create space? Decent hip sink there and curl route, nothing spectacular. But comes back, makes a nice grab. Would like to have seen him shed the tackle here and the contact and maybe go for additional yards. Seems to go down a little easy there. But here he is again at the top of the screen. The little curl route, stop route. But what I don't like is the fact that he didn't try and get additional yardage. He just kind of runs out of bounds. It's kind of, I don't know. Why aren't you turning up field and trying to get additional yardage? So I don't know. I'm just trying to, look at things that maybe are red flags a little bit in his game. All right. So here he's at the bottom of the screen. Really like the way he sheds contact on here, and makes the nice catch and goes up forward and gets tackled. But here it is again, actually a little slow motion, little stutter step, little lazy on the breaking of that route. I don't think he was really expecting to get the ball, but he sheds the contact, makes the nice grab, and then turns upfield. Physicality at the contact point was nice to see. All right, so this was an incomplete pass that I wanted to put in here because I wanted to, again, I'm looking at his route running. I'm looking at the crispness of his breaks, right? That's what we want to kind of really take a look at to see if he is going to translate, because in the NFL, you have to be elite at route running or you're not going to make it, right? So, he doesn't really do much to manipulate this defender for me. He just kind of lazily goes, puts the right foot in the ground and makes a jab step, but doesn't get this back to turn his hips to the outside, trying to force outside leverage to turn inside. And there's a close-up of it here that's going to happen. He has a lot of contact there. That's just simply, not his fault. But again, it was the break that I wanted to see. So here he is at the bottom of the screen, okay? And he's just going to run across the formation, he's running down the field. But again, I'm not seeing any defensive manipulation. I'm not seeing it's a go route, a 9 route, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't really have the speed. The guy runs with him side by side. It was an incomplete pass, but again, that's what I want to do. At least show, what is his defensive manipulation? What is he doing to get these guys off? All right, so he is at the top of the screen right here. Little stutter step. Now, this is a catch everyone's blowing up on Twitter about. And oh my God, his hands and stuff. Great one-handed grab, love it, right? But he doesn't shake the defender off this play. I mean, a little stutter step, and he's it's just a down the field route, and he just didn't really create a whole lot of separation. And here he goes again. I mean, great ball. He's got good ball skills, man. He's got good hand-eye coordination, good ball skills at the catch point, down vertical routes. I get it. Would have liked to have seen and maybe have a little separation there. I think it looked like he was running as fast as he could, but couldn't really separate. All right, here he is again at the top of the screen. All right, and again, just what do we? I want to look at his route running. What's his technique at the break point? Okay, let's just take a look at it one more time. You can see for yourself. He just, it's just nothing special. He just kind of goes on an out route, doesn't really fool anybody, and that may have been a pick six if the ball was actually placed properly and if it wasn't deflected at the line of scrimmage. All right, so here he is again, facing a little bit of press in his route running. All right, boom, little stutter step. Again, I think the guy got fooled a little bit. He was watching the eyes of the quarterback, thought maybe it was going to be an outbreaking route, and he was going to try and jump on the route and maybe pick it. But again, I'm just kind of looking at what kind of separation. If the guy follows him downfield, I'm not sure he had the speed to really make it down the field. All right, so let's take a look at his ball skills and hands. Like I said in the beginning of the show, he did have some drops. He is down here in the slot right here. Again, we're going to just look at the catch point. What? Sorry about that. Let's going back here. All right, so there he goes. He's just going to find the gap in the zone, makes a nice catch here. Just an in-breaking route in the middle of the field. But again, nice ball skills here. Good concentration with the guy hanging all over him. That was a nice play there. All right, so here he is at the bottom of the screen. All right, he kind of goes out of screen here, but he comes back for the ball, an underthrown ball, comes back for it. I thought, again, good ball tracking skills, good ability to keep his eyes, on the ball, makes, sheds the contact, goes up, nice catch, doesn't body catch it, at least uses his hands to grab the ball. Very just simple, technique here. So he's down in the bottom of this. Where is he on this particular play? All right, here he goes again. Yeah, so good catch point here. He's in the slot, finds the gap in the zone, finds the ball, nice grab right there, and gets tackled. So again, this is the ball skills and hands, nice ability. Here he is at the, I believe he's at the top of the screen. All right, and then again, he knows he's going to get hit on this particular play, and I like the way he shielded the contact on that and came back for the ball. Nice play. All right, so where is he on this particular play? I think he is down on the bottom, and he's, again, running across the field. And, again, just showing his ball skills and hands. A lot of plays like this for Jalen Tolbert, kind of meandering through the hash marks across the field. Again, really nice catch, on the run, good ball tracking skills. All right, so again, this is a couple plays here. Again, we saw this throughout his film a little bit. Just concentration drops. You don't want to hold that too much against him. But again, if you look at the route itself, there's not much to it. He's just turning around. He had so much. Nobody was really pressing on him. And then again, this was an incomplete pass where I felt as though he should have made the catch. So just looking at his athleticism, I mean, this is something that you should be able to catch this ball, make the adjustment. All right, he's looking for the ball, and then it's there, but it kind of slips through his hands a little bit. So let's take the final trait we want to look at is his yak and speed ability, right? I mean, the NFL right now is all about yak and speed, creating space for players, getting the ball balls in the hands of players in space. So we're going to look at some yak ability here. He's going to get the ball. I don't think this is his best trait. I mean, he's got a little bit of elusiveness. Not a lot. Here he is at the upper hand again. This is a nice play. Makes the guy miss. Turns the outside. All these guys run into each other. But again, his footwork here wasn't great. I'd like to see a stop foot. Really kind of jab his foot and make this guy miss. Like right here, I would have liked to have seen him cut once and then make this guy miss for additional yardage. But he kind of stutter steps there a little bit. Here he is again getting the ball in yak in space. These guys run into each other again. You'll see, again, these two players run into each other and kind of take each other out. And he's got the ability to run with the ball, but I don't find him to be an elite trait. This was one of his better plays here. Shows his deep speed here on this particular play. No one's going to catch up with him. So, but more importantly was the catch point, his ability, shed the contact rather, make the catch. That was really good ball concentration there. All right, and then he turns upfield and, he's off to the races. Okay, got the next film here. All right, he's going to get the ball again in space. And what does he do with it? He's a good route runner. He runs to open space. I don't find him terribly elusive, and God doesn't have blazing speed to make guys miss. And he's not electric with the ball in his hands by any means, but he's serviceable in the Yak department. But I don't see an elite playmaker when it comes to this part of his game. Good player, but just not, the elite ability to make guys miss and really dust people. So you can just see here again, just more Yak ability, running the open space. I mean, this particular play again at the end, I want to see him go down the field. I mean, put a hat on somebody instead of running out of bounds, man. I don't want you running out of bounds. You got to be physically tough. I want you to knock the shit out of that guy and put him on his butt and keep going and getting 5 or 6 extra yards. And he kind of just runs out of bounds. So not like what I love seeing, on film. But there you got it, man. That is his film breakdown. Hey, man, I hope you enjoyed that film breakdown. Look, Jalen Tolbert's getting a ton of buzz right now, right? Like I said earlier, he's a day 2 kind of conversation guy right now in draft circles on Twitter. He's a deep sleeper for a lot of people. For me, I think he's going to be a day 3 guy. He's not a guy that I'm probably going to target a lot of. I'm going to probably go for maybe some smaller, faster guys in my 2nd or 3rd round of rookie drafts. And really primarily because there's not a lot of Sunbelt players that make it to our dynasty rosters, right? If you go back and look at history, there's not many of them. And there's a reason for that, I think, is because of the lack of competition in that conference and how it translates to the NFL. So I'm a little weary on kind of tagging him as any kind of sleeper in the upcoming draft. So it kind of reminds me of Antonio Golden Gandy. A couple years ago, coming out of Liberty, a guy that a lot of people were excited about because of his size and his playmaking ability down the field, contested catch guy, got drafted by Washington, I believe, early day 3 draft capital he got, I'm not sure, but he hasn't sniffed the field. And I kind of feel like Jalen Tolbert might fall in that realm. A player who's going to get the day 3 draft capital, might sneak in the day 2. Not for me. Not a guy, like I said, I'm going to target probably in my rookie drafts. But in any case, we'll see where he lands because that matters. Situation matters. I've said that all the time. I believe that plays a role in the success of some players getting on our dynasty roster. So, all right, I hope you enjoyed the film. Please subscribe to the channel. We're going to have a ton of films like this coming out of all these 2022 rookie prospects. So thanks for watching.